It's Tuesday, November 4th.
There is something for every Canadian in that budget.
Investment for some, austerity for others. The federal Liberals have been telling Canadians what to expect ahead of today's budget day.
Although it doesn't totally bridge the gap with some of the federal and international changes that have taken place in the international student landscape, we are really appreciative of the funding that has been provided to us today.
With new provincial funding coming to Saskatchewan's post-secondary institutions, what that actually means for your education.
We break records when a Brier comes to Saskatoon. We know that curling runs deep in the lifeblood of the cities, and of course in rural Saskatchewan it is the beloved sport.
The 100th anniversary of the Men's Curling Championship is coming to our province in 2027. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Big 2027 for sports.
Yeah, 2027. So we get a Grey Cup.
Brier.
That's going to be so much fun.
What could we get? We should get something else.
Well, let's keep the party going in 2027.
Party going. I don't know where they're going to find all these volunteers. Kayleen, we'll get back to you in just a minute. Let's get on to news. It is a big day today. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne says Canadians should know what to expect when the budget is tabled later today.
It's an investment budget. It's a generational shift. Ça prend en forme, regardez.
This is my favorite ritual. They go out and buy shoes that represent the budget. Minister Champagne yesterday took part in the pre-budget tradition of buying new shoes. Heading into budget day, the Liberals have said there will be a focus on investment. This means the deficit should stay high. Prime Minister Mark Carney has also talked about making sacrifices, which suggests spending cuts are coming.
I'm hoping that my taxes will be reduced. But do I expect that to happen? No.
Anything that would help a retired person would be grateful.
Minority Liberals will need help to pass this budget. Opposition parties have given the Liberals their wish lists in exchange for their support. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is still praising his anti-tariff ad, even as he and the Prime Minister appear to have differing views on what happened before it aired.
Did you inform Mr. Ford that this is something that you did not want to go forward with?
Yes.
There we go, guys. I had a different recollection of our conversation. He called me from Asia a couple times and said, pull the ad.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford says Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, asked him several times to pull the ad, and that has angered the U.S. President. But Premier Ford added he had a different recollection of the conversation they had before that ad ran. The ad featured a clip of former U.S. President Ronald Reagan talking about the economic drawbacks of tariffs. In response, President Trump cut off all trade talks with Canada and threatened an additional 10% tariff on Canadian goods. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew is denouncing a Supreme Court of Canada ruling on child pornography.
This is like one of the worst things that anyone can do. Not only should go to prison for a long time, they should bury you under the prison.
The High Court ruled the one-year mandatory minimum jail sentence for accessing or possessing child pornography is unconstitutional. In a 5-4 decision, the court says the minimum sentence removes a judge's discretion to impose sentences other than imprisonment when appropriate. Opposition Leader Pierre Poilievre, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, and Ontario Premier Doug Ford have all demanded Ottawa overrule the decision. Wab Kinew says he stands with them, calling the ruling disgusting. And breaking news this morning, former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. His death was confirmed in a family statement. Cheney served as Vice President from 2001 to 2009 under former President George W. Bush. He was also known as one of the most powerful vice presidents in U.S. history. A hardline conservative, Cheney broke ranks from the Republicans on recent years over his opposition to President Donald Trump. The trial of a Saskatoon massage therapist accused of sexual assault got underway on Monday. Jeremy Dodge following this for us with the very latest. Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. 69-year-old Kenneth Braun being tried on 6 counts of sexual assault. The alleged incidents happened between 2010 and 2021 while Braun was a massage therapist. 14 jurors are expected to hear evidence over the course of a 3-week trial. A publication ban is now in place on all evidence ahead of Braun's second jury trial set for next month, where Braun faces 4 more sexual assault charges. A judge ordered Megan Gallagher's family to flip their shirts inside out during a Saskatoon trial after concerns were raised about what the jury could see. Now, here's a look at the sweaters in question, reading, "Megan Gallagher murdered but not forgotten." The defense lawyer told the judge he was worried about the message on the sweaters and its potential influence on the jury. Roderick Sutherland was found guilty of manslaughter, and publication bans on proceedings that took place outside the jury's presence, including the order for the family to remove their shirts, have now been lifted. Gallagher's stepmother, Debbie, said it was painful being told to hide her daughter's name.
I think it was an insult to every woman who has been silenced. It perpetuates the violence towards women. You know, like it was only Megan's. That's the only thing we have left of Megan is her pictures. When are the victims going to be seen in court? When are they going to be acknowledged as victims, right, and respected?
The judge said his priority was to ensure Sutherland received a fair trial and that the jurors didn't feel pressure to render a verdict one way or another. And Daryl, a Regina murder trial entering its 3rd week.
Yeah, and we're going to turn things over to Sierra D'Souza Butts on court finishing hearing testimony from all of the Crown's remaining witnesses.
Jury members are finished hearing from more than 30 witnesses in the ongoing trial of the man accused of killing Misha Pavlik 19 years ago. Pavlik was fatally stabbed at a high school graduation party on May 21st, 2006, near Last Mountain Lake. On Monday, the court heard from peers of Derek Enns, a man who intervened when Pavlik was in one of several fights that broke out that evening. One witness, Sean Hesse, was a close friend of Pavlik's, telling the court Pavlik made it clear a fight was going to happen as soon as he saw a group of uninvited people show up to the party. When the first of 2 fights involving Pavlik did break out, Hesse said he pulled the accused off of Pavlik. Another witness, Cordell Carlberg, testified he helped Pavlik get back up on his feet after the first altercation. Less than 3 minutes later, Carlberg says the 2 got jumped again by the same group of men he helped pull off of Pavlik. Another witness recalls seeing Pavlik on the ground after multiple fights broke out that evening, saying he was conscious. Quote, "It was a fight for his life. He was frantic and scared." The defense will be given a chance to call any witnesses of their own later this week. Closing arguments will be made by lawyers before the jury heads into deliberations. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Regina man faces several charges, including manslaughter over a woman's shooting death on Highway 39 near Weyburn. We first told you about this yesterday. It happened on September 12th when a 44-year-old woman riding in an SUV was fatally shot. The circumstances remain unclear, but police have now arrested 42-year-old Chris Fallman in connection with the incident. He's accused of manslaughter and careless use of a firearm, along with a couple other gun-related charges. He appeared in provincial court yesterday.
That information will have to wait until this matter is before the courts. The specifics of the investigation that was done will be a matter that has to be determined in court. Our investigators did work diligently to ensure that they were taking care of all of the investigative tasks that would lead us to the person responsible for this offense.
The judge adjourned the proceedings, which will now resume later this morning. There's been a second report of possible tampering with Halloween candy in Regina. The latest incident came from the Northwest, where a child found a chocolate bar with what appeared to be a thin slice of metal inside. The child had been trick-or-treating in the Fairways West, West Hill, and Norman View West areas. We told you about a similar report from the Greens on Gardner neighborhood in East Regina yesterday. So far, no one has been hurt, and police are investigating both incidents. Officials urge parents to check candy before letting kids have it and to report anything that is suspicious. The 100th edition of the Canadian Men's Curling Championship will be played right here in Saskatchewan.
That the 100th anniversary of the Brier, the 2027 Montana's Brier, will be held at the SaskTel Centre here in Saskatoon.
The Stell Centre set to host Canada's Best in Men's Curling February 26th to March 7th in 2027. It'll be the 12th time Saskatoon has hosted, making it the third most behind Calgary and Toronto. The announcement was made yesterday at Montana's, which is the title sponsor.
We break records when the Brier comes to Saskatoon. We know that curling runs deep in the lifeblood of the cities, and of course in rural Saskatchewan, it is the beloved sport.
Tickets will go on sale in March of 2026. We turn our attention over to the Weather Centre. Kayleen, what's going on today?
Well, if you're waking up with us in the south this morning, you may want to start that commute a little bit earlier, as we do have a system moving in, could be bringing some freezing rain to the streets around Regina in the next hour or so here. So keep that in mind. I'm going to show you that on our Futurecast in just a moment. Let's talk temperatures, though. This morning view behind me brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. We're at -1 right now with that cloud cover. The sun not going to be up until about 8 o'clock this morning. Some southeast winds, though, coming in at 13 kilometers per hour. We're not going to be seeing those winds going up all too much this afternoon, so at least that is one positive. -3 in Saskatoon. Sun, again, not quite up, but when it does come up, we will see a nice mix of sun and cloud to start the day, and northeast winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour right now. Now let's take a look at this radar and satellite, because you can see we had quite the system making its way into the south overnight, into those late hours last night and into early morning today. It was coming with flurries, it was coming with rain, and it was coming with freezing rain, a combination of the both. This wintry mix, again, going to be reaching Regina a little bit later. So this is currently where the system is at. In the next hour or so, we are going to be seeing it reaching Regina. Now it's mainly that pink color there, so that indicates freezing rain. If you have a commute this morning, maybe start it a little bit earlier. See if you can beat this. By about 11 a.m., we do see that pushing away from Regina fully, and then into the afternoon hours, we see that system fully out of the province there. We see things start to get a little bit sunnier by the end of the day, so at least that's a positive. Then we're talking about this system that's going to start impacting us late tomorrow night into those overnight hours and into Thursday morning. Thursday is going to be the day that we're talking about flurries and rain, and some more of that freezing rain as well. Current temperatures now across the province. -2 in Spiritwood, -1 in Nipawin, -2 in Hudson Bay to start the day. 3 degrees through Swift Current right now, -2 in Yorkton, and 2 degrees in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we're still seeing temperatures above the seasonal average. Moose Jaw up to about 9 degrees, 8 degrees for Yorkton, 7 degrees for Estevan, and 8 degrees for Weyburn. You're seeing those snow icons on your screen. Keep in mind that those are going to be pushing away from your area in the later parts of the morning. The afternoon will likely look more clear from that precipitation. We also mentioned that more precipitation is on the way for Thursday, with that temperature is about 5 degrees, going down for Friday, 1 degree, with the snow continuing on in Regina, and then a mix of sun and cloud on Saturday. But it's going to be cool for game day, -5. Saskatoon, 8 degrees today, 5 degrees tomorrow, and then snow on the way for Thursday, Friday, and clearing up for Saturday.
Since birth, Jimena and Scarlett have defied the odds. In 2016, they were born conjoined at the pelvis. Their separation required a groundbreaking 12-hour separation surgery at a hospital in Corpus Christi, Texas. Doctors said they may never walk again. But now, nearly 10 years later, the girls are doing a lot more than walking. They're cheerleading in a statewide competition. Their routine tells the story of their lives, from the music to the final pose, a reference to their very beginnings. And their journey has been a long one. After the surgery, the family lived at a Ronald McDonald house for more than a year as the girls recovered, supported by strangers who quickly became their family.
I'm not gonna forget this, because the people here always were there for us. When we cry, they cry with us. We never felt alone.
Their mom saying, they're an example for children with other medical conditions, that if you want something, don't give up. From the operating room to the competition floor, they're still beating the odds.
And we wouldn't bet against them. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, in case you missed it, nominations are now open for the CTV Citizen of the Year. It's given out each year to an individual who exemplifies excellence in community service and is making a difference in our communities. You can nominate someone on the CTV Regina or CTV Saskatoon website. The deadline to submit your nomination is December 5th.
And there is a QR code running in our beautiful enhanced screen as well. You can just scan that. It'll take you to the website and you can enter somebody there. Somebody like Jeremy Dodge.
Yeah, Jeremy, I think.
Oh, no. Someone actually deserving, maybe.
You're a citizen and it's a year. That qualifies you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
There you go. Question of the day. It is Federal Budget Day. So we're asking you very simply, what do you hope is included in this year's budget? We ask that you keep your answers clean. Scan the QR code on your screen or text your name and answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. We'll take a look out over the city of Saskatoon. We'll share those answers coming up. We got your news and your weather coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for this one, we are taking a trip to Indiana. It is the Bucks and Pacers. Final seconds of the fourth here. Tied up at 1:15. And Giannis Antetokounmpo working the clock, nails the fadeaway J at the buzzer. 33 points, 13 rebounds for Giannis. The Greek Freak just silencing the crowd and claiming your must-see moment. And hot off that win, the Bucks will be in Toronto tonight to face the Raptors on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a tremendous Tuesday.
With the calendar flipping to November, construction season is coming to an end in Saskatoon, and Keenan Sorokan is reporting crews are squeezing every hour of work out until the season of the cold temperatures arrive.
Construction season in Saskatoon is coming to an end, but as long as the weather holds, crews will stay busy.
There's so much work that we almost bank on having a great October and whenever we can get some nice weather in November as well.
From here on out, Saskatoon construction crews are working on borrowed time. In addition to the usual annual maintenance, the city tackled a number of water and sewage infrastructure projects, putting additional pressure on crews to get work done before winter. That's on top of all of the Link bus platforms built throughout the city, which created plenty of delays and detours.
A large amount of work and quite a short season in which to do it in.
The biggest change is the reconfigured Broadway Bridge, now complete with a T intersection at 19th Street and 4th Avenue. This vehicle was the first to enjoy the drive across the bridge Saturday night, more than 6 months after it was closed for construction.
And the bridge work had to be done, but now that it's open, it's like that bustle is coming back.
While some businesses on Broadway noticed a modest dip in sales, having the usual activity back in the neighborhood is a welcome sight.
I noticed a little bit of a difference in the street, maybe not being quite as busy with traffic. So it's nice. It's nice to have it back.
Link will be a theme of Saskatoon's construction season next year. Another 44 platforms are on the books, as well as the new bus shelters to go on top of them before the new transit system launches in 2028. But for now, the wait for winter is on, as final summer and fall projects are coming to a close. Keenan Sorokan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out in Regina to catch the bus, -1, but grab a jacket and a toque and gloves on your way out the door. We're expecting some freezing rain for the morning, pushing away around 11 o'clock. So by lunch, just clouds, 6 degrees, and then by final bell, we'll be at that daytime high of 9 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. Winds not going to be increasing all too much this afternoon, likely just coming in up to about 20 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, a little bit cooler this morning, -3 with some cloud cover. Not expecting that precipitation though. 4 degrees by lunch with a mix of sun and cloud, and then that sun fully coming out, the clouds pushing away by final bell as we reach that daytime high of 8 degrees with winds up to about 25 kilometers per hour. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up, $128.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common cost is $127.9, but you might find the lowest at $117.9. Taking a look at the farm markets now, the street price of canola is at $576.22 per ton, and the futures price at $633.90 per ton. Amber durum wheat at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $245.62 per ton. And the Canadian dollar beginning the day trading down at 71.14 cents U.S. Coming up in about 10 minutes, more reaction to Duck Lake trying to sell naming rights. Stay with us for the details.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl. Thank you for being with us. The provincial government is now committing $250 million for Saskatchewan's post-secondary education. The money will be distributed to universities, Sask Polytech, and regional colleges over the next 4 years. A funding agreement with the institutions was signed at the Legislative Building during a ceremony. It follows the recent layoff of over 100 staff at Sask Polytech due to a 40% drop in international student enrollment. Sask Polytech says it's too early to determine whether some of the cuts can be reversed.
Although it doesn't totally bridge the gap with some of the federal and international changes that have taken place in the international student landscape, we are really appreciative of the funding that has been provided to us today.
The NDP opposition in this province calling on the government to order reversal of Sask Polytech staffing reductions. The showdown between the federal government and Stellantis intensified on Monday after the industry minister revealed she is launching a dispute resolution process against the automaker. It revealed last month it was shifting production from Ontario to the U.S. Mike Lucatur reports.
If you make promises and then walk away, you will be held accountable.
A blunt message for Stellantis from the federal government. Before being questioned by a parliamentary committee, the industry minister said Ottawa is going after the car maker.
We'll start the 30-day period of the formal dispute resolution process in order to bring back production at the Stellantis Brampton facility.
In October, Stellantis announced it was moving production of its Jeep Compass from its Brampton, Ontario plant to Illinois. In response, the government capped how many vehicles Stellantis and GM can import tariff-free into Canada. Going to the dispute resolution process could be risky, according to this trade lawyer, because the automaker could play hardball.
I think what they would say is, look, Canada, if you really want to do this, take this approach, then, we might give you your money back and say goodbye to you.
And your government committed thousands, millions, and billions.
In a sometimes combative exchange, Conservative members of the parliamentary committee demanded to know if the contract with Stellantis spelled out job commitments in Brampton. Documents related to the building of the battery plant in Windsor, obtained by CTV News, clearly state Nexstar Energy and Stellantis committed to creating and maintaining 2,500 jobs at that plant. The contract for the Brampton plant has not been released.
She could have been very clear if her government made a 3,000 job commitment for Brampton or a broader Canadian footprint agreement. She was not clear on that. That tells me there isn't one.
Minister Jolie told the committee the car plants in Windsor and Brampton are linked, as are the contracts, adding MPs will be able to see that when the Brampton contract is presented at another committee.
A Saskatoon couple had to be creative and make alternative arrangements for their wedding when a hurricane devastated their destination for their wedding. As Carla Shigaruk tells us, they swapped a beach wedding for a ceremony that left them on cloud 9.
To be my lawful wedded spouse. To be my lawful wedded spouse.
Newlyweds Jalen and Curtis Leachman were supposed to be saying I do on a sunny beach in Jamaica. But after Hurricane Melissa devastated their wedding destination last week, the Saskatoon couple was forced to come up with a new plan fast.
Oh, it's kind of like, okay, we got it. Let's get it. Let's continue on. And we made the best out of a poor situation, really.
With their November 1st wedding date already embossed on wedding favors, they decided to go ahead with the nuptials on that day anyway.
But we absolutely had no backup plan. We've been to Negril probably 8 or 9 times. We always go at that time of the year. Jamaica hardly ever gets hit with a hurricane, and especially to the devastation that it did this time.
May now kiss your bride.
And this was the new unlikely venue, the Saskatoon Airport. It was 6:30 Saturday morning, right before they boarded a new flight to Mexico, a trip they booked once Jamaica was not possible. They found a justice of the peace through a friend who wasn't sure what to expect when he arrived.
Because I couldn't go past security where there might be a smaller room. And when I got there, they were all happy. They were in beach wear already. So we kind of pretended like it was the beach, I guess.
The Leachmans tied the knot in front of two friends and some unlikely wedding guests, airport staff who cheered them on. And since they were eloping, none of their 4 children even knew they were getting married. Until now, when this story airs.
Well, I guess, yeah, we'll see you Sunday, and that's the reason why we're having a big supper.
So the surprises about this wedding will continue on. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
There was a shocking collapse Monday of a medieval tower in Rome captured on video. Take a look. Boy, oh boy, a worker was trapped in the rubble of this 13th century building near the Coliseum, which had been undergoing reconstruction. After hours of delicate rescue attempts, crews were able to free him, although he ultimately did pass away in hospital. An online trading platform has now been given approval to launch in this country. Questrade Financial Group says it received approval to open a Quest Bank. The approval was years in the making, with the company first applying for a banking license in 2019. Quest Bank will be a fully fledged domestic bank in the same class as Canada's 6 existing banks. Microsoft has patched a long-standing bug. For decades, users would click update and shut down on their computers only to have them restart. The bug affected computers running Windows 10 and 11. Now, Microsoft has never acknowledged the problem before issuing this update. Frost Festival returning to Regina for a 5th year. The festival will be taking place over the first 3 weekends in February. Some of the new activities include Olympic-style games on Mosaic Stadium's concourse, Frozen the Musical, put on by the Globe Theatre, and brunches at the Connexus Arts Centre. The events are set for downtown Real District, Wascana Centre, and the Warehouse District, and will have indoor activities for a chance for you to warm up. Speaking of warm-up, there's no warm-up on the way here, it appears.
Well, temperatures are warmer than the average, but still not warm, if you know what I mean. And today, down towards the south, we are seeing some more of that precipitation, including rain, snow, and a mixture of both. That freezing rain that could make your commute a little bit more dangerous this morning. We have to try and keep ourselves safe on those roads. -1 to wake us up in Regina. Those clouds starting the day. Some southeast winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour right now. In Saskatoon, -3. The sun not fully up. Probably not going to be up for about another hour and a half here, but when it does, we're going to be seeing that nice mix of sun and cloud, and some winds currently coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. Now here's a look at that radar and satellite. We are going to be seeing some more of that precipitation today. As I mentioned, it moved in overnight, and this is what it's going to be looking like right about now, but it's going to be reaching Regina very shortly here, and it's not going to be pushing away from the city fully on the radar until about 11 a.m. this morning. So try and keep yourself safe on those roads. It's also going to be impacting areas down towards that southeast corner around Estevan as well. And again, you could be seeing some flurries. You could be seeing some of that rain. It's a nice little mixture of both this morning to start the day. Now, continuing on into the rest of the afternoon, not seeing much. Not much for tomorrow afternoon either, but then into those evening and overnight hours, we see this larger system more connected. It's going right over top of Saskatoon there, as you can see, right close to Regina. And this is during those overnight hours and into Thursday morning, continuing on and actually growing in size into Thursday afternoon. Mainly snow through the central part of the province. And then, although we do see some snow down in the south, it is mainly rain that we're seeing right down there near Estevan. Now, we're talking about the precipitation, but we're not really as much talking about the winds today. You can see a patch in the afternoon right around Saskatoon where winds are starting to increase ever so slightly, but it's really not going to be as much of a concern or not as noticeable as what we have been seeing in the past week or so here. 9 degrees today for Swift Current, 9 degrees for Regina, and 8 degrees for Saskatoon, 8 degrees also for Yorkton, and 7 degrees for Estevan. All those areas on your screen where you you see those snow and rain icons, again, we're going to be seeing those push away in the later parts of the morning. Regina now showing that there's some more rain on the way for Thursday, snow on the way for Friday, and then yesterday we were talking about the potential for some snow into Saturday. Now we're not seeing that on the radar anymore, but again, we're seeing temperatures drop for game day down to about -5 as the afternoon high, and then even cooler overnight. Saskatoon showing that we do have some rain, or some snow rather, on the way for Thursday and Friday. Saturday clearing up, but temperatures dropping down to about -3.
The federal budget comes down today. It is expected to be a mix of cuts and spending. Prime Minister Mark Carney likely running a deficit of about $70 billion to try and stimulate the economy that has been strained by the tariff war with the U.S. At the same time, departments are expected to be told to rein in spending, and layoffs are likely. Palantir Technology shares fell in pre-market trading on today, taking a breather after rallying more than 170% this year. The data analysis software company raised its full-year forecast and reported third-quarter results that beat expectations. While analysts are broadly positive on the report, they flag concerns over the stock's premium valuation. Palantir, along with NVIDIA, are the focus of Michael Burry. He is the man who predicted the massive housing market crash in 2008 and was featured in the book and movie The Big Short. He has placed what's known as put options on the two tech giants. They are contracts where his Scion investments profit if their share prices fall. Starbucks is selling a majority stake in its China operations to local alternative asset manager Boyu Capital for $4 billion US. The two will form a joint venture to run the coffee giant's stores on the Chinese mainland. The deal marks a major strategic reversal for Starbucks in its second largest market, moving away from a fully company-owned model to combat flagging sales and fierce local competition. The new Shanghai-based venture will manage Starbucks' 8,000 existing stores on the Chinese mainland and plans to eventually expand the network to 20,000. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's a move that caught national attention. The mayor of Duck Lake, Saskatchewan, floating the idea of selling the town's naming rights, just like a sports team might sell stadium rights. $10 million was the number, and there's been plenty of reaction since then. Jason Anderson is the mayor of that fine community and joins me this morning live via Zoom. Jason, thanks so much. A little time has passed now. What's the reaction over the last couple of days?
Well, there's a lot of people that were not happy about this one whatsoever, but we're also in a small town, and a lot of small town communities are not good with change whatsoever. So it is what it is. I think a lot of the comments are starting to settle down a little bit, though, now. People just need a little bit of time to actually wrap their head around this one.
Why 10 mil? Why the number?
Oh, it's not 10 million. That's the bare bones. That's not actually what I'm looking for. 10 million actually gets us a little bit of the infrastructure that we need. There's a community that's close by us that had just redone their water and sewer lines, and they're twice the size of us, and it cost them $10 million in order to do it. So 10 million bare bones would get us our water and sewer lines replaced and would do either all or most of our roads. And the roads are the biggest complaint that we have from both locals and tourists alike. But personally, what I'm looking for is closer to about the $25 to $30 million mark.
What safeguards are in place, Jason? What safeguards are in place so that this doesn't get Adult Film website doesn't come in and say, I want to name my town after that, something that's disagreeable to all parties?
Well, the thing is, though, that's the decision comes down to all the voters, because this one, it's not just a decision that council can make. All we've done was just ask the question. That's it. And then after that, we would have a vote on this, and people can turn down every one of them. But realistically, though, if there was a $25 or $30 million offer that came in and we didn't accept it, then shame on all of us, because that's not just hurting us right now, getting the actual infrastructure done. We could accomplish everything that we really need to do within the next 5 years. You know, people complain about our water source also. we could look at sourcing a different one. Like I say, we would have our new roads, we would have the new infrastructure that we needed underneath. And our council is trying very hard to start enticing businesses and new people to come move into our community. And in order to do that, we need to have that proper infrastructure in place.
As you said, it would literally put their company name on the map. Has anybody come forward?
Well, not yet. I wasn't expecting that one to happen yet. I was only, I thought that I would only start seeing some bids in 2026, because it's going to take some companies some time to actually decide if they're going to, and if they are, how much they're actually willing to offer. And I mean, it could be a company that came in that said, we would love to have our name on the town, and if we're going to do that, we might be willing to move our headquarters to your town. And maybe they happen to be a manufacturing plant or something, and maybe they would bring that along with us. Who knows where this is going to go?
Jason, I'm excited to see where it does go. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning, explaining what this is all about for us.
You bet. Thank you.
Jason Anderson is the mayor of the fine community for now known as Duck Lake, Saskatchewan.
All right, let's head out on the go now. Janelle Pye is enjoying some time down at the Odessa Market this morning. Good morning, Janelle.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. That's right. And I've got Angela Lang here with me. We are enjoying some of this beautiful merchandise that you've got down here at the market. But let's take things back all the way to the beginning. Tell me when you started, Angela.
I created Live, Love, and Lava around 2013, and it started with some very rough designs. I've come a long way since then, and then I gradually added other mediums and other types of jewelry to my display, and it has grown into classes and workshops, and now into a whole store.
Absolutely, and it's beautiful in here. So many great finds. Now, you started your own business journey not too long ago, about 2013, as you had mentioned. Now, the market itself is very, very new. Tell me about what that process was like.
Well, it started actually in June. I opened a very small room within the Odessa Community Center, and I kept walking by this larger space and kind of envisioned me having classes in this space, but it was a bit too big for just myself. So I thought maybe there'd be just a couple of other little vendors that would like to share the space with me, and it's grown to over 45 vendors today.
Fabulous. Well, it's so nice to see business ventures like this flourish. How has the town of Odessa responded to such a great way to bring the community together?
They have been absolutely supportive since day one, and they continue to pop in and encourage me along the way. They are very excited for what we have here in the town, and they have provided this amazing space within the community center. There is a restaurant, a busy salon, a dog groomer, there's a gym, a museum, a library in here. There really is a little bit of something for everyone.
Awesome. All right, Angela, thank you so much. We're going to be back very, very soon in the next hour, and we're going to talk a little bit about Angela's very own product. You're not going to want to miss it.
All right, Odessa Market booming. Janelle, thank you very much. We'll see you in just a little while.
November 4th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Lonnie. We hope you have a wonderful day with all the love from your mom and dad. Also celebrating today is Aiden. Happy birthday to you. We hope this birthday is a great one with lots of love from your mom, dad, and McKenna. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. But please remember, send those in at least one day in advance.
Chase, what's going on in the radio world today?
We're trying to solve a crime, or at least figure out motive for a crime. Some big news out of Ontario where $80,000 of whipped cream was stolen. So we want to hear from you this morning. You can text in 54321. Wrong answers only. Why did they steal the whipped cream? $80,000 worth of it. We have some theories. Maybe they were going to steal $500,000 worth of pumpkin pies later on. I think it could be like a Disney movie situation where there's a bunch of dogs that love pup cups from Starbucks and decided, hey, we don't have to wait for our owners. Let's pull this heist. Why did they steal $80,000 worth of whipped cream? Wrong answers only. Text 54321.
That's about the amount of whipped cream you'd need for the 40,000 plus pumpkin pies sold at the Costco across the street here.
Okay, it's adding up. We have some suspects.
That's what I mean. Okay, thanks, Chase.
Thanks, Daryl.
See you again.
Now you see me.
You know what I mean.
Justin Baldoni's $400 million countersuit against Blake Lively has been thrown out by a federal judge in New York. The It Ends With Us co-stars have been in a legal battle after Lively made allegations of a hostile work environment on set and a subsequent smear campaign by Baldoni's team. Judge Louis Lyman signed the order to dismiss the lawsuit after Baldoni missed the deadline to file an amended complaint. Little do you know how long I've been waiting for this. Kelly Clarkson has added new dates in 2026 for her Las Vegas residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace. She'll be in Sin City from July 17th through August 15th. Ticket pre-sales begin on November 4th and regular sales on November 7th. In honor of Dick Van Dyke's 100th birthday this year, a documentary by Fathom Entertainment called Dick Van Dyke 100th Celebration will appear in theaters nationwide on December 13th and 14th. Tickets are available now. And actor Matthew McConaughey turns 56 today, and that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, Halloween may be over, but it's still all about the candy, and some are a little destructive.
You're going to do orange?
This mom found out the hard way. She and her daughter were trying on new candy, exploded mid-bite, accidentally spraying orange goo everywhere, including an innocent bystander's dress. Lesson learned. Be influencers
what the heck
at home.
kind of candy is that?
Never seen it before.
If I got my food on somebody else's clothes, I would be mortified. I would be embarrassed forever. I hope they were forgiving.
Oh. Yeah. Projectile.
All right, here's another one for you. It's officially sweater weather, and if you didn't already know, each one has its own personality.
Okay.
This
videos are out of order.
Wrong video.
Videos are out of order.
Well, instead, let's look at this dog that's confused over fake petting.
Well, yeah, it's trend on social media where you try to, you just go over top of your pet. You never actually touch him.
This owner probably dresses the poor dog up, too, with costumes and outfits and stuff.
He would.
Oh, for shame. Time out. We're back right after this. Stay with us. It's Tuesday, November 4th.
Reliance to resilience, from uncertainty to prosperity. We're going to do the kind of things that will make this country stronger. Ça prend en forme. Regardez.
So Budget Day. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne says the Liberals' budget will have something for every Canadian. Former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney has died. The cause and reaction ahead.
We break records when the Brier comes to Saskatoon. We know that curling runs deep in the lifeblood of the cities, and of course in rural Saskatchewan it is the beloved sport.
100th anniversary of the Men's Curling Championship coming to our province in 2027. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. We hope your day is off to a great start. We're going to have some fun this hour. We have a special guest in studio with us.
I don't know why every week we decide to threaten Kayleen's job with some guest weather presenters.
Everyone gets an audition. We'll see who gets to take over from
KSB is here from your Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Joe shortly behind him, so we'll have them do the forecast in a little bit. And then we got to, I think at the end of the season, we probably got to pull clips from all of the weather presenters.
See who did it best.
Do a poll.
Yeah.
Well, second best, because TJ, Trevor Harris's son, did it the best.
That was really good. Yeah. So who actually on the riders
who actually, yes, who on the field, exactly.
All right,
we'll get to that about 7:15 or so, right? Let's get to your news. The federal government set to unveil its budget today, the Liberals' first fiscal update in almost a year. And the Prime Minister says, from the Prime Minister, rather, Government House Leader Stephen McKinnon says the budget will be affordable.
A budget that brings down taxes for Canadians, a budget that brings down taxes and GST for first-time home buyers, a budget that makes life more affordable.
Affordable budget.
Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne says the budget will be offering generational investments and something for all Canadians. Opposition Conservatives say they will only support it if that affordability pledge holds true, while the NDP says it wants the budget to be good for working Canadians. If it fails to pass in the House, the government will collapse and an election will follow. The Liberals are 3 seats shy of a majority, so they'll need some opposition MPs to either vote for the budget or abstain from the vote. The budget is scheduled to be tabled around 3 o'clock our time, with the first vote on it expected later this month. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is still praising his anti-tariff ad, even as the Prime Minister and he seem to have differing views on what happened before.
Did you inform Mr. Ford that this is something that you did not want to go forward with?
Yes. Here we go, guys. I had a different record.
Premier Doug Ford says Prime Minister Mark Carney asked him several times to pull the ad that angered the U.S. president, but Premier Ford added that he has a different recollection of the conversation they had before the ad ran. The ad featured a clip of former U.S. President Ronald Reagan talking about economic drawbacks of tariffs. In response, the U.S. president cut off trade talks with Canada, as you know, and threatened an extra 10% tariff on Canadian goods. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew is denouncing a Supreme Court of Canada ruling on child pornography.
This is like one of the worst things that anyone can do. Not only should go to prison for a long time, they should bury you under the prison.
Strong words from the Premier there. The High Court ruled the 1-year mandatory minimum jail sentence for accessing or possessing child pornography is unconstitutional. In a 5-4 decision, the court says the minimum sentence removes a judge's discretion to impose sentences other than imprisonment when appropriate. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre, Alberta Premier Daniel Smith, and Ontario's Doug Ford have all demanded Ottawa overrule the decision. Wab Kinew says he stands with them, calling the ruling disgusting. It's election day in the U.S., and one of the races to watch is for New York City Mayor.
People to live lives of dignity.
U.S. President Donald Trump looms large even without positions in Washington in play. He has threatened to cut funding for New York if progressive candidate Zoran Mamdani wins. Now, Mamdani is taking on former state governor Andrew Cuomo in the race, who is running as an independent after losing the Democratic nomination. We got a trial going on in Saskatoon of a massage therapist, Jeremy Dodge. Good morning. We'll throw things over to you.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, the trial of a Saskatoon massage therapist accused of sexually assaulting patients over the course of several years is now underway. CTV's Stacey Hine has more on the judge and jury trial.
69-year-old Kenneth Braun leaves Saskatoon's Court of King's Bench on the first day of his trial. Braun is accused of sexually assaulting 6 patients between 2010 and 2021 while working as a massage therapist. He has pleaded not guilty. Braun was first charged in June 2022 after a woman reported being sexually assaulted during a massage. Police laid additional charges following the initial allegation. Braun's trial is scheduled to last 3 weeks. Over that time, the jury will hear from witnesses and review evidence presented by defense lawyers and Crown prosecutors. A publication ban is in place on all evidence to protect the integrity of Braun's future court proceedings. The ban restricts reporting of evidence, lawyers' arguments, and any possible victim impact statements. Journalists may report on the court process, the verdict, and any sentence if Braun is was found guilty.
Braun will stand a second trial for 4 counts of sexual assault next month. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Daryl, some breaking news from south of the border this morning.
That's right, Jeremy. Former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. His family released a statement saying he died last night due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. Karen Travers on his life and legacy.
Dick Cheney was called the force behind President George W. Bush, a notoriously silent but powerful VP who became an outspoken defender of the Bush administration and an ardent critic of President Obama.
When they've made all the decisions they've had, close Guantanamo, end the high-value detainee program and so forth, I think those are all mistakes.
He was beloved by conservatives and vilified by the left, compared to a Star Wars villain.
They wouldn't call me Darth Vader for nothing.
He was known for his increasingly conservative views on nearly everything but gay rights, perhaps because he had a gay daughter. Richard Bruce Cheney was born in 1941 in Lincoln, Nebraska. He grew up in Casper, Wyoming, and married Lynn Ann Vinson in 1964. Cheney first arrived in Washington in 1969 to work for President Nixon's chief of staff, Donald Rumsfeld, before replacing his mentor in 1975. When Jimmy Carter defeated President Ford, Cheney returned to Wyoming, ran for Congress, and served 5 terms until President George H.W. Bush asked him to serve as Secretary of Defense. After a stint as head of defense contractor Halliburton, Cheney returned to run George W. Bush's Vice Presidential Selection Committee and was selected himself.
The person who was best qualified to be my vice presidential nominee was working by my side.
After 9/11, Cheney was influential in formulating the U.S. response. The doctrine of preemptive action widened the war on terrorism from Afghanistan to Iraq.
We have a further responsibility to help keep the peace of the world and to prevent the terrorists and their sponsors from plunging the world into horrific violence.
He faced challenges in and out of the White House, shooting a campaign contributor in the face during a 2006 quail hunt, and a year later watching his former chief of staff, Louis Scooter Libby, convicted of obstruction of justice and perjury. President George W. Bush later commuted Libby's sentence. Cheney's daughter Liz was one of the 10 Republicans who voted to impeach former President Trump for his role in the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Dick Cheney came to the Capitol on the first anniversary of that horrific day. Though a political lightning rod, Cheney will be remembered by his allies as a man who served his country with conviction. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Closer to home, there has been a second report of possible tampering with Halloween candy in Regina. This latest incident comes from the northwest, where a child found a chocolate bar with what appeared to be a thin piece of metal inside. The child had been trick-or-treating in the Fairways West, West Hill, and Norman View West areas. We told you about a similar report from the Greens on Gardner neighborhood in East Regina yesterday. So far, no one has been hurt. Police are investigating. Officials urging you to check your kids' Halloween candy and report anything that may be suspicious. Frost Festival returning to Regina for a 5th year. The festival will take place over the first 3 weekends in February. Some of the new activities include Olympic-style games on Mosaic Stadium's concourse, Frozen the Musical by Globe Theatre, brunches at the Connexus Arts Centre. Events are set for downtown, Real District, Wascana Centre, and the Warehouse District, and we'll have indoor activities so you can have a chance to warm up if it's cold.
February is a slow month tourism-wise, so anything we can do to encourage people to come into Regina, have a meal here, enjoy some Frost activities is really good for the local community, local businesses, and good for everyone.
Schedule of the free and ticketed events will be announced in the coming weeks. And in the meantime, the 100th anniversary edition of the Canadian Men's Curling Championship will be coming to Saskatchewan.
That the 100th anniversary of the Brier, the 2027 Montana's Brier, will be held at the SaskTel Centre here in Saskatoon.
SaskTel Centre is set to host Canada's Best in Men's Curling, the Brier, from February 26th to March 7th in 2027. It'll be the 12th time Saskatoon has hosted, making it the third most behind Calgary and Toronto.
We break records when the Brier comes to Saskatoon. We know that curling runs deep in the lifeblood of the cities, and of course in rural Saskatchewan it is the beloved sport.
Tickets for the 2027 Montana's Brier go on sale in March of 2026, so something to get excited about. Kayleen Sawatsky, I see waiting in the wings. You got some replacements. You better be bringing a good forecast here.
I sure do. And you know what? Sometimes when we have the rider players in studio here, they look a little nervous. Kian Schaefer-Baker, just off camera right now, looking cool as a cucumber, ready to deliver your game day forecast. But before that, we have to take a look at this morning view. It's brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. 1 degree now in Regina, so we just bumped up. We do have some cloud cover to start the day. The sun not fully up yet. That's going to be happening around 8 o'clock this morning. Barely any winds to start your day, and we're not really going to be seeing those increasing all too much throughout the afternoon today either. -3 to wake us up in Saskatoon. Clouds taking over the city there as well this morning. 7-kilometer-per-hour winds. Let's take a closer look at this radar and satellite, though, because we do have some precipitation down towards the south today. That purple and white on your screen, those flurries that moved in overnight, the pinks, the mixed precipitation, the greens, all of that rain. Going to be seeing some of that in just a little bit in Regina. So if you have to get out for your commute, may I recommend you do so sooner rather than later. The system going to be right over top of Regina until about 11 a.m. and then pushing away down towards the southeast around Estevan, getting some of those light flurries and then disappearing for the afternoon. Things are going to be warming up and also going to be seeing those clouds clearing out as well for the afternoon. Then we're talking about some more precipitation, a more gathered system on the way for the overnight hours starting late tomorrow night and then into Thursday morning. Just when we think it's going to start pushing away, it actually grows in size, bringing some flurries to the central zones throughout the afternoon, and then down to the southeast, some of that rain throughout the afternoon and into the overnight hours as well. Current temperatures now showing -5 in Spiritwood, so we've been fluctuating a bit. It's actually gone down. -1 to start the day in Hudson Bay, -1 in South End, 2 degrees in Moose Jaw, a little bit warmer in Assiniboia, 3 degrees, and then 2 degrees to wake us up in Estevan this morning. Later on this afternoon, seeing temperatures still about double that seasonal average for this time of the year. So although it's not warmer than it typically is, 8 degrees in Weyburn. Again, that precipitation you're seeing on your screen pushing away in the late morning hours. 7 degrees for Estevan, 8 degrees for Saskatoon today, and 7 degrees with some sunshine in the Battlefords. And we just talked about that precipitation on the way for Thursday. For Regina, that's going to be rain. For Saskatoon, that's going to be flurries, as you can see, dropping down on Friday to about -1, and then -3 on Saturday in Saskatoon. If you're heading to the Rider game and you want to know what's going to be happening on Saturday, well, Kian Schaefer-Baker is going to help me out in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you're having a blessed and beautiful Monday morning. KSB here to bring your weather. We're starting here just in the central part of Saskatchewan. Right up here we got Melfort, at 7 degrees today. Hudson Bay a little further down, 8 degrees. It's kind of a beautiful day out in Saskatchewan. We're going to move to the southern part. Over here in Pilot Butte, we got 9 degrees. Lumsden, another 9 degrees. Ooh, what do we got right here? Rosetown, sounds beautiful. 10 degrees out there today. We're going to finish off with Hague right over here, 7 degrees, mainly sunny. Wind gusts coming in at 20 to 30 kilometers an hour. Not too bad, given out here in Saskatchewan, and most important part of the day, game day forecast. We got a little bit of a chilly one, -5 to start at kickoff. We're going to be finishing the game at -8 degrees, so make sure you guys bring your hats, your mitts. I heard we got the best hot chocolate in town. Make sure you guys go out, tell your aunts, your uncles, your niece, your nephews, everybody, tell the whole family to come out on game day. Let's pack the house and get a W, 1-0.
The federal budget comes down today. It is expected to be a mix of cuts and spending. Prime Minister Mark Carney likely running a deficit of about $70 billion to try and stimulate the economy that has been strained by the tariff war with the U.S. At the same time, departments are expected to be told to rein in spending, and layoffs are likely. Palantir Technologies shares fell in pre-market trading on today, taking a breather after rallying more than 170% this year. The data analysis software company raised its full-year forecast and reported third-quarter results that beat expectations. While analysts are broadly positive on the report, they flag concerns over the stock's premium valuation. Palantir, along with NVIDIA, are the focus of Michael Burry. He is the man who predicted the massive housing market crash in 2008 and was featured in the book and movie The Big Short. He has placed what's known as put options on the two tech giants. They are contracts where his Scion investments profit if their share prices fall. Starbucks is selling a majority stake in its China operations to local alternative asset manager Boyu Capital for $4 billion US. The two will form a joint venture to run the coffee giant's stores on the Chinese mainland. The deal marks a major strategic reversal for Starbucks in its second largest market, moving away from a fully company-owned model to combat flagging sales and fierce local competition. The new Shanghai-based venture will manage Starbucks' 8,000 existing stores on the Chinese mainland and plans to eventually expand the network to 20,000. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Time for our morning mystery. It's a song. So we got 3 clues. You write down your answer. KSB is going to get this one. He's a music aficionado, we're told. Clue number 1. This epic ballad was the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 10 years ago this week.
Not in the 80s. Typically, we get an older one. Okay.
We're a little bit newer here. So this video was first to be shot in the IMAX format and was the fastest video to reach 100 million views on Vivo.
Oh, okay.
It's from Adele's album 25. So it's an Adele song. It's from Adele's album 20. So I only know one Adele song. I only know one Adele song, I think.
This album.
Oh, no. I know 2. There's not one. I don't think it's the right one. There's the one I thought was Chasing Penguins, but it's Chasing Pavement.
Chasing Pavement?
I always thought it was Chasing Penguins.
This album got me through my first semester living away in university. I know this one.
Are you showing yet?
I'm going to be so embarrassed if I'm wrong with this one.
KSB is still writing here. When you're ready, show it to the camera.
Are we all going at once?
Trevor Harris got it right. So this is...
Hello across the board. It is hello.
Look at that.
It's
we
me.
all got it right.
Some Adele fans over here.
Video was filmed in the countryside near Montreal and directed by Canadian actor and director Xavier Dolan. How about that? Today's Morning Mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for this one, we are taking a trip to Indiana. It is the Bucks and Pacers. Final seconds of the 4th here. Tied up at 1:15. And Giannis Antetokounmpo working the clock, nails the fadeaway J at the buzzer. 33 points, 13 rebounds for Giannis. The Greek Freak just silencing the crowd and claiming your must-see moment. And hot off that win, the Bucks will be in Toronto tonight to face the Raptors on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a tremendous Tuesday.
First and foremost, where do we rank KSB on the list of...
Pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good, but we've had some really good ones. He did come on and immediately say happy Monday. It is Tuesday.
Really impressed by the effort these guys have put in. They really enjoy it. They're actually fighting over who gets to come in, which is awesome.
It's so much fun.
In case you missed this, Thunder is about to strike with AC/DC announcing new tour dates in this country. Has kicked off its Power Up Tour in Europe in 2024, and initially there was only one Canadian stop, that being in Vancouver. 21 new concert dates have been announced, including shows in Edmonton, Montreal, and Toronto. Tickets go on sale on Friday. Short drive to see a legendary band before they pack things in eventually. It's got to be soon.
Yeah, you have to expect that, yeah.
Getting up there.
That'd be a good show, though.
AC/DC.
I saw them in 95 or 96, and it was the loudest, still to this day, the loudest concert I have ever been to.
Oh, I believe it.
I believe that, too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Blow the doors off. Question of the day is where we go to next. It is Federal Budget Day. We've asked what you hope is included in this year's document. We've got a couple of answers on the board.
Yeah, a few of them. So... First answer that came in said anything to help families with food security and to be supported in all ways possible. So we're looking for some help for the families. We had another answer then come in that said substantial increase in OAS for seniors. So looking for some senior support. And then we had another answer come in a short time ago from Heather on our X page saying healthcare. We want some more supports in healthcare. So a few answers there as to what everybody in our province wants to see happen with that budget. Now, if you have anything that you would like to add, text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. You can also scan that QR code on your screen, and we're going to share more answers in about 1 hour. All right, let's take a look at this school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out in Regina, we're at about 1 degree right now, -3 in Saskatoon. By lunchtime, we're going to be sitting at 6 degrees, 4 degrees by that time in Saskatoon. And in Regina, by final bell, 9 degrees. Right below that, by final bell in Saskatoon, 8 degrees. Winds not going to be increasing all too much today, but what you might notice if you're waking up with us in the south is that we are going to be seeing some of that precipitation in Regina until about 11 a.m. That's when we see it fully push away from us on that radar. So keep that in mind. Should be mainly cloudy by the lunchtime hour. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $128.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common cost to fill up $127.9, and the lowest you might find is $117.9. Taking a look at the farm markets now, the street price of canola at $576.22 per ton, and the futures price at $633.90 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $245.62 per ton this morning. And the Canadian dollar beginning the day trading down at 71.14 cents US. After the break, why Saskatoon's construction season has been extended. Stay with us.
Good morning. Welcome to Your Morning. It is 7:30. After an investigation that spanned nearly 6 weeks, RCMP have made an arrest in the case of a woman who was fatally shot under bizarre circumstances in early September. This one happened on highway just outside of Weyburn. Jacob Carr has the latest on the investigation and the new charges.
Chris Fallman appeared in Saskatchewan Provincial Court on Monday morning, facing 4 charges, including manslaughter, careless use of a firearm, carrying a weapon for the purpose of committing an offense, and occupying a vehicle knowing there is a firearm inside. As the investigation is still in its early stages, the RCMP does not have many details to share at this time.
The specifics of the investigation that was done will be a matter that has to be determined in court. Our investigators did work diligently to ensure that they were taking care of all of the investigative tasks that would lead us to the person responsible for this offense.
The Saskatchewan Major Crimes Branch confirms that Fallman allegedly discharged a firearm that struck 2 vehicles on Highway 39 near Weyburn on September 12th. They're also explaining the reasoning behind some of the charges.
The simplified explanation is, as you said, intent. Murder has an intent behind it, whereas manslaughter does not necessarily carry that intent. So the other charges that were laid in addition were done so in consultation with our Crown Counsel.
The Saskatchewan Realtors Association confirms that Fallman was a business partner of the association and has since had his contract terminated due to these charges. The Weyburn Police Service also releasing a statement to CTV News, saying on behalf of the Weyburn Police Service, we are glad the investigation by the RCMP has led to an arrest and can only hope, pending the outcome of court proceedings, that the family can have some closure to such a senseless and tragic incident. After Fallman's brief virtual appearance in court on Monday, Judge James Corpin adjourned the proceedings to Tuesday morning at 9:30. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
The provincial government committing $250 million in funding for Saskatchewan's post-secondary institutions. The money will be distributed to universities, Sask Polytech, and regional colleges over the next 4 years. The funding agreement with the institutions was signed at the Legislative Building yesterday. It follows the recent layoffs of over 100 staff at Sask Polytech due to what they say was a 40% drop in international student enrollment. Sask Polytech says it's too early to determine if this will lead to a reversal.
Although it doesn't totally bridge the gap with some of the federal and international changes that have taken place in the international student landscape, we are really appreciative of the funding that has been provided to us today.
On the right page. The NDP, of course, calling on the government to order the reversal of the staff reductions. With the calendar officially flipped over to November, construction season in Saskatoon is winding down, but on Saturday, the Broadway Bridge opened to traffic for the first time since May. Crews are working on water main repairs and upgrades in a number of different neighborhoods before the temperatures take a turn. And the city's head of construction says as long as the forecast holds, crews will stay busy.
So much work that we almost bank on having a great October, and whenever we can get some nice weather in November as well, that just allows us to complete a few more things that then we don't have to carry over to the next season.
In total, city crews and contractors fixed more than 200 kilometers of roadway in Saskatoon since the spring. Saskatchewan's Ministry of Environment says it's seeing more reports of sick or dead birds this fall due to avian flu. Signs of avian flu in wild birds can range from lethargy, weakness, poor coordination or tremors, and unusual behavior such as swimming in circles and a reduced response to people. The ministry says it's common to see cases of avian flu during the fall migration as birds congregate in large numbers before flying south. Young birds that lack immunity from the virus are especially susceptible. Severely ill birds from avian flu are not candidates for rehabilitation, but sightings can be reported to the Ministry of Environment. Nova Scotia reporting a rise in the cases of COVID-19.
We know in October, we were seeing about 100 cases of COVID-19 a week and just a handful of flu cases.
Health officials say the rise comes as the province approaches that time of year when the number of cold and flu season cases begin to increase. The province is reminding people to get vaccinated. Since October 15th, more than 50,000 people in Nova Scotia have gotten their flu shots. They are available in Saskatchewan as well. More than 400,000 have received a COVID shot in that province. New Brunswick is also reporting solid numbers for vaccinations. Canada is launching a formal dispute against Stellantis for moving its vehicle production out of the country.
If you make promises and then walk away, you will be held accountable.
Industry Minister Melanie Joly announced the 30-day dispute resolution process, which will be aimed at recovering taxpayer money and returning production to the facility. Joly says the company must be held accountable for breaking its promises. Last month, Stellantis decided to move its production of Jeep Compass from Brampton to Illinois, which prompted the federal government to threaten legal action. Canada is now capping how many vehicles Stellantis and GM can import tariff-free into the country. The leases for 25 former Hudson Bay stores across the country will soon be handed back to the landlords. The stores had been subject of a months-long legal battle between a BC-based billionaire and Canada's largest mall owners. HBC moved out of its 80 stores over the summer after filing for creditor protection and liquidating its merchandise. As long as no landlords object to the disclaimer, the HBC leases will be terminated November 27th. The Yukon Party has seized the majority government in the territory, knocking the Liberals out of power after 9 years. With the victory, Yukon Party leader Curry Dixon is set to become the first premier who is born in the territory. The Yukon Party won 14 of the territory's 21 seats. The NDP under Kate White is poised to become the official opposition. The Yukon Liberals under Mike Pemberton were elected in just one riding. Pemberton failed in a bid for his own seat in the legislature. In a separate non-binding plebiscite on the election reform, more than 56% of Yukoners voted in favor of switching to a ranked ballot system instead of the current first-past-the-post system. Prince Harry will be in Canada this Wednesday and Thursday for a series of events for Remembrance Day. The Duke of Sussex office confirms he'll be in Toronto at the invitation of the True Patriot Love Foundation, which supports members of the military veterans and their families. England soccer star David Beckham has been bestowed with a new honor today, knighthood. Beckham was knighted by King Charles III at a ceremony in Windsor Castle, recognizing the former English captain and Manchester United player for his services to sport and charity. He was awarded the Order of the British Empire in 2003, and rumors about his knighthood have swirled for over a decade. Beckham played a key role in bringing the 2012 Olympics to London. Beckham's wife, Victoria, once known as Posh Spice, also got a new title, Lady Beckham. People has named its sexiest man alive in 2025, and it is Jonathan Bailey, who's having a big year. He will be in the second part of Wicked, which comes out later this month. He was also in Jurassic Park Rebirth this summer. This is the 40th year of the award. Mel Gibson was given the very first one in 1985, which means, yet again, I am a runner-up, Kayleen. Yet again.
So close. I bet you were next on their call list, Daryl.
So close.
I bet it was. But Jonathan Bailey, that's a deserving winner.
Oh, come now. All right.
That's a deserving winner. Did you see that face?
Temperatures are rising in the weather center, but how about outside?
All right. Well, it's still cooler outside to start the day. Not as cool as what we're going to be seeing on the weekend. Enjoy these temperatures while weekend. Game day is going to be a chilly one. 1 degree right now, though, in Regina. We are seeing some clouds to start the day. The sun is working its way up. It's just not quite there yet. Very low winds to start the day in both cities. -3 to wake us up in Saskatoon. Now, the radar and satellite showing that we saw rain, we saw some mixed precipitation, and of course some of those flurries making their way in overnight. This morning we are seeing a bit more of that on the radar. So Regina very likely in the next little bit here to be seeing some of that mixed precipitation. So be very careful out on those roads this morning with the freezing rain. Could be a little bit more dangerous than what we typically see out on those roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep everybody safe. Down in the southeast corner around Estevan, we're going to be seeing some more of those flurries into the later parts of the morning. And then that system is going to be pushing away into the middle parts of the afternoon, making way for a lot of sunshine. Then we're talking about tomorrow evening into the overnight hours. That's when we start to see this system making its way in. This one's a little bit larger, but still bringing the same stuff. So rain, mixed precipitation, and flurries overnight. And then into the afternoon, we see mainly snow falling in Saskatoon on Thursday, and then some rain down towards the south, and that will include Regina as well. Current temperatures now still at -5 in Spiritwood, -3 in Prince Albert, -1 in Hudson Bay, and -1 in South End. Down towards the south, more of the same, 2 degrees for Estevan, 3 degrees in Assiniboia, 3 degrees for Swift Current as well, and 0 degrees in Kindersley and East End. The Battleford's at -8. Cooler start to the day. Later on, though, seeing temperatures still above the seasonal average. In fact, still doubled of that seasonal average. Moose Jaw up to 10 degrees, Weyburn up to 8 degrees. Estevan up to 7 and Yorkton up to 8 degrees. Keep in mind all those areas where you're seeing those snow and rain icons. Those are going to be pushing off in the later parts of the morning. And the 5-day forecast for Regina now. We just talked about that precipitation on the way for Thursday. That's rain for Regina, snow for Saskatoon. On Friday, though, that's going to be flurries for Regina as well. Thankfully, we were originally saying that the radar was showing some flurries on Saturday as well, but game day now looking clear from the precipitation, just not clear from those cooler temperatures. -5 on that day. Going to be cooler at kickoff in Saskatoon. Flurries on Thursday, as we mentioned, 1 degree, -1 on Friday with some more of those flurries, and then clearing up on Saturday as the temperatures drop to -3.
The incidents happened between September the 22nd to October the 12th at several public facilities on the 3000 block of Quant Street East, the 3000 block of Albert Street, and the 2000 block of Victoria Avenue East. A man and a woman were able to steal credit and debit cards at these locations and then use them at local businesses. Suspect number 1 is described as a man, heavy-set, wearing a hospital mask, a black NASCAR brand ball cap, a black and camouflage T-shirt, gray shorts, white socks with black Crocs. Suspect number 2 is described as a woman appearing to be about 30 years old. She had longer-style black hair and was wearing a black ball cap. She left in a black 4-door BMW from one of the thefts.
I'm Belton Johnson, board member with Regina Crime Stoppers. Did you know Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 cash rewards for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, Our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
Let's jump over to the Regina Humane Society. Join Bill Thorne with a special guest. Bill, good morning. Who do you have with you?
Well, this morning I've got a very special boy. In fact, it's part of his name. This is Boy George, and he's a bit over a year old. Just celebrated his first birthday, we think, in the last few weeks. And super guy. He's been on slumber parties, which is part of our foster program, where pets get out, dogs get out and spend a weekend out of the shelter and spend some time in the community. And he did really well there. Got along with dogs, got along with cats. And here's something too. I don't think this guy sheds at all. I've been trying to pluck the odd hair off of him. There's nothing on my jeans, nothing on my shirt. And with this kind of coat, I was really surprised at that. So kind of bonus. And also there's another bonus. His adoption has been fully sponsored by a generous member of our community. So there's no adoption fee for the adopter. Just a $25 license fee if you live in the city of Regina. I've been trying to get him around to show his face, but he seems to want to show off his backside here a little bit more.
That's what they all do. That's what they all do. Does Boy George do any singing?
He does. I've heard him do a little bit of singing, talking to the other dogs as they walk by, but a very good singer, I might add, and keeps everything in check.
Perfect for?
I'm sorry?
Who is he perfect for?
Well, I think, given the reports that we've had in shelter and also the slumber party he was on, gets along with other animals quite well. So I think he'll be a good dog for just about any family. I've seen him out in our off-leash park. He does fly like the wind, and the Saskatchewan winds are pretty good, and he can keep up. So he's going to keep you hopping for sure if you want to get some exercise.
It's fundraising season, Bill. How do we support you if we can't take home a pet ourselves?
Yeah, a very important time of year for us to be able to look after the animals that come into the shelter each year. Over 3,700 on average the last few years. We do have our holiday catalog, which just launched last week, where you can buy a specific gift for the pets in the shelter. We also have our holiday lottery, where you can win anywhere from $100 to $2,000 every single day in December. And our new calendar is out too. We've had a lot of people calling and emailing us about that. You can get that on our website or right here at the shelter in the Adopt Shop.
Bill, we need a full fleet of animals named after the staff here at Your Morning Saskatchewan, so you need to make that happen. In the meantime, you can all head over to reginahumanesociety.ca. You can take home Boy George or make a donation to that fine facility. Bill, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Daryl. Have a great one.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Art Guild Show and Sale happens November 6th through 8th. Starts at 10 in the morning. Saskatchewan Research and Technology Park. That's 10 Research Drive. AuroraArtGuild.com for more. Let's Dance Regina Social Club. Friday, November 7th at 7:30 p.m. at 2134 Winnipeg Street. That's the Regina Senior Center. Call 306-331-7290. The Old Time Dance Club happens that same night, 7:30. Rival dance clubs. Cecilia's Banquet Hall. This one's out in Weyburn. 306-861-9929. Jingle for the Park Trade and Craft Sale. Just in time for Christmas. Saturday, November 8th, 11 a.m. Heritage United Church. That's 1050 North Arneson Street. 306-529-2850. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, but please do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
All right, let's head back out on location with Janella Pye, learning more about Odessa's new market.
Okay, well, we are continuing our fun down here at the Odessa Market, and I've got Angela Lang back with me. Now, Angela, you created your business here in 2013. Let's talk a little bit about how you got started with that.
Well, my family kind of got interested in using essential oils in our home, and we were looking for something that everyone could use, but also put away if we were in a sensitive area. So I was looking for bracelets and never really found anything that I liked. So I started creating my own jewelry, and that's where the lava comes in from my business name. The lava rock is actually a porous stone, so you could put the essential oils on it, and then it became a personal diffuser. But it could also be put away if you're at the doctor's office or a hospital or something like that. And then it kind of grew, I learned more ways of making jewelry and fell in love with beadwork. And this is one of the pieces that I've made. This one has almost 3,000 little tiny beads. So this has been another very popular form of jewelry that I do. And leather or wire-wrapped earrings. The little snowman that I'm wearing this morning are a newer design.
So cute. And these are all handcrafted. How long does it take you to make, let's say, one of those beaded bracelets?
Some of them can take over 20 hours.
Wow. Okay. Well, these are fantastic. You've got beautiful items here. I am so excited to talk more about this with you. Coming up, we'll be in the next hour once again. But for now, that's all from us at the Odessa Market.
November 4th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Lonnie. We hope you have a wonderful day with all the love from your mom and dad. Also celebrating today is Aiden. Happy birthday to you. We hope this birthday is a great one with lots of love from your mom, dad, and McKenna. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. But please remember, send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, Chase, entertain us for the next 30 seconds. Go.
All right, well, we're going to play Price is Right rules here. We have a solid gold toilet up for auction, and we want you to text in 54321 and tell us how much is that going to go for. It is also, it's a used toilet, used solid gold toilet by over 100,000 people. Will that drive the price up or down? I don't know. There's a lot of weird people with a lot of money out there. So text in for that, 54321. On a less weird note, there's a new cover, a country cover of Traveling Soldier coming out this week. We'll tell you who's covering it and give you a sneak peek coming up after 8 o'clock with your Country Minute.
Well, I never really thought of myself as a comedian, really. I'm an entertainer and a song and dance man.
Why look so awfully tragic? Put on a happy face.
Dick Van Dyke turns 100 next month. The feature-length documentary, Dick Van Dyke 100th Celebration, includes some of his most famous performances and reminiscences from Van Dyke and many of his friends, co-stars, and collaborators. The doc is in theaters December 13th, Van Dyke's birthday, and 14th. Locations and tickets at fathomentertainment.com.
Santa's coming to town! Oh, my God!
You can't have a winter entertainment memorabilia event without Elf. Prop Store's latest live auction features more than 1,300 items, led by Will Ferrell's costume from Elf. Star Wars fans may want to bid on Boba Fett's blaster from The Empire Strikes Back. Also on the block, Harrison Ford's fedora from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Christopher Reeve's cape from Superman 3, and the late Alan Rickman's personal shooting scripts from Die Hard and Love Actually. The auction takes place December 1st through the 3rd. You can check out all the offerings at propstoreauction.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Jay, do you offer up a slice of sidebar for us?
All right, Halloween is over, but candy remains. And some of those candies can be destructive.
You're going to do orange?
She found out the hard way how that candy works. Apparently this stuff explodes mid-bite. She sprayed orange goo everywhere, including apparently on a woman's dress who was standing nearby. I guess you just don't try this stuff in public, right?
I guess not.
I like that they had almost the same reaction, the mother and daughter there.
I'm sorry. So sorry.
You can see the family resemblance.
Yeah, let's see if this video works this time. It's sweater weather, and if you didn't already know, each one has its own personality. So this guy showing off dance personality. Joe decided to show his girlfriend how each of her sweaters would dance if they were at a party.
This is so accurate.
Really?
Yeah.
So the first one
Looks
with
like-
the white sweater and the shy little dancer, that's too accurate. Ooh, this one's fun and flirty.
Fun and flirty. Yeah. This one apparently is Irish. Time out. We're back after this.
I'm standing begging, but I'm standing at your door and it's cold outside.
It is Tuesday, November 4th.
Definitely some cuts, it seems like, for the government at the federal level.
Federal workers are just one group waiting to see what kinds of spending cuts are coming when the Liberals table their budget later today. Former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney has died. The cause and reaction just ahead.
We break records when the Brier comes to Saskatoon. We know that curling runs deep in the lifeblood of the cities, and of course in rural Saskatchewan it is the beloved sport.
And the 100th anniversary of the Men's Curling Championship heading our way. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummold.
And I'm Kayleen Swatsky. We hope your Tuesday's off to a great start.
You kept your job. KSB went back to the football field.
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, I don't always get the dates right, but I know that today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. It feels like a Monday, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Slept in just a tiny bit. Let's get over to news, and it starts with the federal budget today, which could be bad news for government workers.
I think the writing was on the wall before the election on that. I don't know what the severity is going to be. We have no real idea.
I hope the cuts aren't as severe. I went through the 2012 workforce adjustments.
The Liberals have been selling their budget as a mix of investment and austerity. Austerity could come in the form of job cuts to the public sector. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne has said already that the civil service needs to be brought back to a sustainable level. The minority Liberals will need help from one of the opposition parties to pass their plan. BC Premier David Eby says he finally feels heard by Ottawa after a high-profile meeting dubbed the Softwood Summit.
As of today, I feel much more confident. The federal government understands the severity of the crisis facing the sector. The industry intact and
Politicians from BC and Ottawa have agreed to set up a task force with BC to better support the industry. This, of course, comes in the face of increasing tariffs and fees on lumber. Eby says the forestry industry is larger than the automotive sector, aluminum and steel combined, and is happy it's getting the support he says it deserves. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew is denouncing a Supreme Court of Canada ruling on child pornography.
This is like one of the worst things that anyone can do. Not only should go to prison for a long time, they should bury you under the prison.
The High Court ruled the one-year mandatory minimum jail sentence for accessing or possessing child pornography is unconstitutional. In a 5-4 decision, the court says the minimum sentence removes the judge's discretion to impose sentences that are other than imprisonment when appropriate. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, and Ontario's Doug Ford have all demanded Ottawa overrule the decision. Wab Kinew stands with them. Closer to home, a Saskatchewan cancer patient is taking his fight for free hospital parking to the Legislative Building. As Wayne Mantika reports, the government says the money goes toward maintenance and frontline health care.
Dennis Ogrodnik believes he should be fighting his cancer and not the government.
And let's eliminate all parking. BC has eliminated paid parking at hospitals. Quebec has never had it. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick have recently eliminated paid parking at their hospitals as well.
Cancer patients were provided free parking when Ogrodnik began treatment in Prince Albert a couple of years ago. The SHA withdrew the free parking partway through his treatment.
And all of a sudden, it was eliminated. And I'm thinking, who in their right mind that has any integrity, any empathy, would say, let's target cancer patients?
The government says parking fees go toward lot maintenance costs and frontline health care.
The revenue that comes in through parking for the Saskatchewan Health Authority, it's about half of that is the cost of running the parking infrastructure in the province, and then the other half goes right back into the Saskatchewan Health Authority operating budget, which again goes directly to patient care.
The NDP opposition is asking the province to reconsider.
We didn't hear any change from the government. Really disappointing to see.
Saskatchewan cancer patients should not be paying for parking.
SHA parking fees can vary between facilities. It's even free in some smaller centers. The SHA is currently considering a standard parking policy. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
New details have been released about a recent trial in Saskatoon. That's where Jeremy Dodge is, and we say good morning to him. JD, hi.
Good. Hi, Daryl. Yeah, following the removal of a publication ban, these new details have emerged over the trial in Saskatoon, which found Roderick Sutherland guilty of manslaughter in the death of Megan Gallagher. A Saskatoon judge ordered the victim's family to turn their shirts inside out, saying the messaging on their clothing could potentially influence the jury. CTV's Laura Woodward explains.
On the third day of the Saskatoon manslaughter trial, the judge ordered the victim's family to turn these sweaters inside out, hiding the words Megan Gallagher murdered but not forgotten from the jury. Roderick Sutherland was found guilty of manslaughter. With the verdict delivered, publication bans on proceedings that took place outside of the jury's presence, including the order for the family to remove their shirts, have now been lifted. Defense lawyer Blaine Bevan told the judge he was worried about the message on the sweaters and its potential influence on the jury.
They're seeing something on a shirt that says this is murder. Like, that's not what he's on trial for. And even if it said this is manslaughter, it's unlawful confinement, that's what he's on trial for. There shouldn't be outside influence. They have to focus on what the evidence is in the case and make their determination on that.
The judge sided with the defense and asked those wearing the sweaters to flip them inside out.
I was quite offended by it.
For 3 years, Gallagher's family has worn shirts with her picture while attending court proceedings for the 9 people charged in her death. Her father, Brian Gallagher, sees no issue with the word murdered.
The earlier convictions had already told us that she was murdered. Personally, what I saw it was as a power play on Bevan's part.
Court heard Gallagher was tied to a chair, tortured, and died after plastic film was wrapped around her face. Stepmother Deb Gallagher said being told to hide her daughter's name was painful.
I think it was an insult to every woman who has been silenced.
Yeah.
It perpetuates the violence towards women. Mm-hmm. You know, like it was only Megan's. That's the only thing we have left of Megan is her pictures. When are the victims going to be seen in court? When are they going to be acknowledged as victims? Right, and respected.
Sutherland's sentencing hearing is scheduled next month. At that time, the Gallaghers are expected to make victim impact statements. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Daryl, former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney, died overnight.
Yeah, at the age of 84, he spent almost 40 years in Washington. He served as White House Chief of Staff for Gerald Ford, Defense Secretary for George H.W. Bush from 2001 to 2009. He was Vice President under former President George W. Bush. Cheney was known as one of the most powerful VPs in U.S. history. In a statement, the Cheney family says he died due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. It's Election Day in the U.S., and one of the races to watch is for New York City Mayor.
It is time to finally stand up to the bullies that make these threats, not to become the bullies ourselves.
U.S. President Donald Trump looms large even without positions in Washington in play. He has threatened to cut funding for New York if the progressive candidate wins. Mamdani taking on former state governor Andrew Cuomo, who is running as an independent after losing the Democratic nomination. A Regina man faces several charges, including manslaughter over a woman's death on Highway 39 near Weyburn. This one happened September 12th when a 44-year-old woman was riding in an SUV and fatally shot. Circumstances remain unclear, but police have arrested 42-year-old Chris Fallman in connection with the incident, accused of manslaughter and careless use of a firearm, along with other gun-related charges.
That information will have to wait until this matter is before the courts. The specifics of the investigation that was done will be a matter that has to be determined in court. Our investigators did work diligently to ensure that they were taking care of all of the investigative tasks that would lead us to the person responsible for this offense.
After Fallman made a brief appearance in court Monday, the judge adjourned proceedings, which will resume later this morning. Saskatoon couple had to get creative and make alternate arrangements for their wedding when a hurricane devastated their destination location of Jamaica. Carla Shinkarek with what they did.
To be my lawful wedded spouse. To be my lawful wedded spouse.
Newlyweds
brides, Jalen and Curtis Leachman, were supposed to be saying I do on a sunny beach in Jamaica. But after Hurricane Melissa devastated their wedding destination last week, the Saskatoon couple was forced to come up with a new plan fast.
Oh, it's kind of like, okay, we got it. Let's get it. Let's continue on. And we made the best out of a poor situation, really.
With their November 1st wedding date already embossed on wedding favors, they decided to go ahead with the nuptials on that day anyway.
Oh, we absolutely had no backup plan. We've been to Negril probably 8 or 9 times. We always go at that time of the year. Jamaica hardly ever gets hit with a hurricane, and especially to the devastation that it did this time.
You may now kiss your bride.
And this was the new unlikely venue, the Saskatoon Airport. It was 6:30 Saturday morning, right before they boarded a new flight to Mexico, a trip they booked once Jamaica was not possible. They found a justice of the peace through a friend who wasn't sure what to expect when he arrived.
Because I couldn't go past security where there might be a smaller room. And when I got there, they were all happy. They were in beachwear already. So we kind of pretended like it was the beach, I guess.
The Leachmans tied the knot in front of 2 friends and some unlikely wedding guests, airport staff who cheered them on. And since they were eloping, none of their 4 children even knew they were getting married. Until now, when this story airs.
Well, I guess, yeah, we'll see you Sunday, and that's the reason why we're having a big supper.
So the surprises about this wedding will continue on. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
AC/DC announcing new tour dates in Canada. Bailey in studio is dancing. She's young and she's still dancing AC/DC. That's the power of this band. They kicked up their Power Up tour in Europe in 2024. Initially, there was just 1 Canadian stop all the way over in Vancouver. Now they've added 21 more dates for 2026, including Edmonton, Montreal, and Toronto. Tickets go on sale on Friday. Now, if I'm going to see that in any city, I'm probably going to go all the way to Montreal.
I have to go back for a second, Daryl. Okay. Bailey,
yep.
She gives me this withering stare to correct you.
Oh.
Bailey was not dancing. She looks at me as if she's like, Mom.
As much as somebody can do in a chair while they're doing their job, you know.
All right. I don't know which city I'd go to for them, but I would love to see AC/DC.
Bailey's going to all of them. She's thunderstruck.
All of them. We're gonna do a commercial break, and she's gonna say, Kayleen, correct him.
Yeah, I'm gonna run faster scared than she can mad. What's going on in the weather?
All right, this morning view, it's looking a little bit brighter now. Finally, that sun is up. It's brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. The morning view is, however, not the sun. We can't sponsor the sun. 1 degree right now to wake us up in Regina. We do have some cloud cover right now. The winds, you're barely gonna notice those as you walk out the door, and that's a nice change because in the past week or so, we've been seeing those higher winds into the afternoons. Today, they're looking rather low for many places. I'll show you where in just a moment, though, where we could see the strongest ones. -5 to wake us up in Saskatoon. Winds are currently coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. Let's take a closer look at those winds, though. So we have in the past week or so here been seeing some of these colors into the reds, indicating up to about 50 kilometers per hour. Today, it's looking a lot nicer, a lot lower. Some areas we're not seeing really any winds at all, any of those gusts. Today, though, it's a patch just north of Saskatoon where we could be seeing up to about 40 kilometers per hour. Radar and satellite showing some of that precipitation that made its way through the south part of the province overnight. And yes, we are still seeing some of that right over top of Regina this hour. Could be seeing some of that freezing rain in the areas surrounding the city. Keep yourself safe out there this morning. That is going to be impacting your commutes. By about 11:30, that's when we really start to see that system disappear and make its way out of the province and then make way for a very clear afternoon. We just have to get through the morning down in the south. And then tomorrow we have another system coming in. This one is larger. It's more gathered. It's going to be bringing with it rain, snow, and that mixed precipitation, freezing rain in the middle. Mainly into the afternoon. afternoon, though, seeing more of that flurry activity up near Saskatoon and then more of that rain down towards the south. Estevan going to be seeing some of that rain falling on Thursday afternoon. Now, as we just mentioned, you can see some of those icons on your screen with the rain and the snow. Don't worry about that. Again, by about 11 a.m., that shouldn't be a factor anymore. 10 degrees today in Moose Jaw, 8 degrees in Weyburn, 8 degrees in Yorkton with that mix of sun and cloud, and 7 degrees this afternoon for Estevan. 7-day forecast showing you that rain on the way for Thursday, 5 degrees with that 1 degree on Friday with those flurries on the way. And then temperatures really dropping for game day in Regina, down to about -5. At kickoff, 5:30 p.m., Mosaic Stadium, we're going to be temperatures a little bit lower at that time, likely around -7 or so. So definitely going to want to bundle up if you're heading to the game this weekend. In Saskatoon, the snow on the way for Thursday, 1 degree, dropping down to -1 is the high on Friday, and then dropping down on Saturday to about -3 with that mix of sun and cloud.
This day in history, November 4th, 2015, Justin Trudeau sworn in as Canada's 23rd Prime Minister with the first gender-balanced cabinet of 15 men and 15 women. November 4th, 1993, Jean Chrétien sworn in as Canada's 20th Prime Minister. And November 4th, 1997, Mordecai Rickler won the Giller Prize for the Nobel Barney version.
In case you missed it, if you feel like firing up your grill maybe one more time before the snow flies, if you're not a winter griller, here is a terrible idea.
Easy treat to make this fall. Start off with some peanuts, M&Ms, some mini pretzels, jumbo marshmallows, chocolate chips, Chex cereal. I like.
So, no steak, no burgers here. This gal piles on a variety of candy and cereal and all sorts of stuff to make some kind of crazy candy concoction. Now, very likely tastes pretty great, but oh, what a mess this must leave.
I just know there's at least one dentist out there right now watching this going, oh my goodness, brush your teeth after this. This looks like a stomach ache.
We are really big in dentist offices, I know that.
Yeah.
Dentist offices, car dealerships. Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Well,
Does look pretty good.
It kind of just goes into mush, though. Would this be good at the end?
I don't know, throw it on some ice cream. Or ice cream on it?
I think the cereal would, yeah, like keep it together enough. Yeah, you'd use it as a topping. Oh, man, that looks great.
That seems like something my son would ask for, and then once you finished it and made it and gave it to him, you'd be like, no, I changed my mind. I don't want it.
It's all brown now.
Constant.
Too bad.
And then you cut it up, though, like a brownie.
Squares. There you go.
Oh, squares.
Okay, so this is one of those trust the process videos.
Oh, you're coming around, are you?
Yeah, I'm coming around.
All right, slow sell, slow burn.
Oh, man.
Question of the day, it is federal budget day, as we mentioned off the top of the hour. What do you hope is in the document is our question of the day, and we've got a couple of answers, mostly leaning one way, Kayleen.
Yeah, it really is all about health care for people in Saskatchewan. This answer says definitely health care needs help. Never did I think I'd see ER closed at certain times. Another answer saying I would like to see more drug rehab services as well as homeless services. Heather saying health care. We had another answer come in that just said more doctors, more nurses. Another one saying health care and more for seniors. Fix this, not just a patch, he says, Bob says. This one says budgets. There's so many needs. We need to have defense dollars in the north to protect Arctic sovereignty. Roads and other transportation is a first step and will also greatly benefit residents in the north. So a great answer there. We have another one saying anything to help families with food security and to be supported in all ways possible. We have another answer that came in that just said substantial increase in old age security for seniors. So we'll see what happens with budget day today. Thank you so much for your input, though, for our question of the day.
1 in 4 people experiences knee pain, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That pain often flares up during activities like running, squatting, or jumping. A new study in the Journal of Athletic Training says a culprit could be weak hips, especially the muscles used to lift your leg up and out to the side. So spending time building up your outer hip strength could help relieve those aches and pains. Try some simple moves at home. Any exercise you do involving lifting up your leg in a sideways motion, either in a standing position or while lying on your side, will target the outer hip muscles. For an extra challenge, use a resistance band around your upper calves. A few sets a few times a week may help give your knees the extra support they need. And always check with your doctor before beginning any exercise program, and consider asking about a referral to a physical therapist for a personalized plan. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Stone.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Now to the secrets of Egypt. The world's largest archaeological museum has opened with over 100,000 artifacts. The main attraction, King Tut's complete tomb, displayed for the first time. James Longman gives us a peek.
Ancient Egypt is unveiling a new wonder this morning, the Grand Egyptian Museum and its spectacular new exhibit. King Tutankhamun. Cairo's $1.2 billion modern temple to ancient history may have taken more than 20 years to build, but that's nothing compared to the more than 7,000 years of history it celebrates. And we are some of the first inside. 250,000 square feet of priceless treasures. It's been opening gradually, 100,000 artifacts unlocking the mysteries of ancient Egypt for new audiences. But the main attraction only now open. King Tutankhamun's complete collection, more than 5,000 antiquities on public display together for the first time ever. His funeral mask, a historic icon.
This is what millions of people will come to see, one of the most important and recognizable artifacts in all of human history.
King Tut's tomb was discovered 103 years ago to the day when a 12-year-old boy stumbled on the steps of a staircase hidden in the sand. Now, everything that was buried with him laid out in stunning simplicity.
The thing I'm most excited about are the sarcophagi. King Tutankhamun's coffins that he would have been buried in, they fit one inside the other. Solid gold, they're perfectly preserved.
These American visitors surprised to find they're among the first here.
Over 3,000 years, and we're seeing real history.
We've seen stuff from 3,500 to 4,000 BC.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it? Can you get your head around that? It's quite difficult to kind of compute.
Yeah, it is difficult.
When in the States, stuff's 300 or 400 years old, and that's ancient.
I've just come from the Louvre, where they had a big break-in. That must be in your mind.
Definitely. Security is on the top. And to tell you the truth, you've seen here a top-notch type of display. We have the highest security measures that you can think of.
And at the opening of the museum, the sky above the pyramids lit up in a spectacular drone show. All of Egypt's ancient history recreated in modern masterpiece.
Now, the museum is hoping for more than 8 million visitors a year, and I can tell you, I've already heard quite a lot of American accents already. Being up close to these items, especially the gold artifacts, the level of preservation is unbelievable when you think that these are thousands of years old. James Longman, ABC News in Egypt.
TeleMiracle 50 is approaching, and we're hearing all about those details you could expect from this anniversary show. Jeffrey Straker is a legacy cast member. He's here to help tee up all of that. Good morning and welcome to the new studio.
Good morning, and thanks for having me here. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, this is fun. Okay, so let's start. What is new for TeleMiracle 50?
So much is new. How do we get through this, Kayleen? So first of all, what I'm going to start with is people of Saskatchewan have come to know TeleMiracle as starting at 9 p.m. on the Saturday, running till 5 p.m. on the Sunday. This year, new news in. It's starting at 7 p.m. in prime time. So instead of running for 20 hours, we have 22 hours. Of TeleMiracle 50, the big golden anniversary year. So we're pulling out all the stops.
All right. So something new for people to get used to with that timing change. But who who is new for TeleMiracle 50?
Well, so we've got a lot of new faces to tell you about. Of course, I want to mention, too, that we have a live audience this year from Prairieland Park watching these faces I'm about to mention. So mark it in your calendar that you can come on down to Prairieland Park and be in attendance. But we've got the three main hosts for the show, faces that people will know, myself, Beverly Mahood, and Brad Johnner, and then some feature hosts we have coming in. We have Kate Burness, TSN broadcaster and Sports Center host. We have Sarah Lise MacArthur. People will know Sarah Lise, originally from Saskatchewan, from Outlander, Cafe Daughter, a lot of TV roles, so an actor and producer. We have JoJo Mason, originally from Saskatchewan, CCMA nominated country artist, former junior hockey player, and from Saskatoon Morning Host, we have Clayton Croker, who a lot of the Saskatoon folks will know. Good man about town, longtime Kin supporter. So those will be the 7 people hosting the show. And then we've got a lot of special guest appearances by some awesome pro Saskatchewan musical talents coming on the show. And I could run through a quick list for the folks at home, too. We've got the Steadies from Saskatoon, Brody Siebert, Monroe and Patrick, Brock Andrews, Jay and Danica, Jay Semko from the Northern Pikes, of course, and Northern Air. So it's an incredible cast of performers and characters who are going to bring the energy to this 22 hours of the 50th anniversary of the telethon.
What a lineup for this very special anniversary show. We know this is a very beloved event in Saskatchewan. If people want to know more information, where can they go?
So, of course, they can go to telemiracle.com. All the info is there. Of course, telemiracle.com is where the broadcast is streamed online. Of course, it's also on CTV. Of course, the extra 2 hours, the 22 hours comes with the generosity of CTV, sort of letting that time be used for the broadcast. You can still tune in on TV, watch it at telemiracle.com. Follow TeleMiracle on all the socials, X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, because that's where there's going to be a special live stream happening, which we're calling the Backstage Lounge, which is hosted by Shaylin Taylor, who people remember from last year. She's a disability advocate, and Gary Nickel, a broadcaster from Saskatchewan. They're going to host this separate, really cool Backstage Lounge aspect of the show with all sorts of interesting interviews and footage too. So follow it on the socials because you can watch all that stuff there.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning. It really is going to be a fabulous show. TeleMiracle 50 coming up. All the info on the website.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. It is 8:31. We begin in news this morning with federal fund, or provincial funding rather, for the post-secondary education sector. The money will be distributed to universities, Sask Polytech, and regional colleges over the next 4 years. A funding agreement with the institutions was signed yesterday. It follows the layoff of 100 staff at Sask Polytech due to a 40% drop in international student enrollment.
Although it doesn't totally bridge the gap with some of the federal and international changes that have taken place in the international student landscape, we are really appreciative of the funding that has been provided to us today.
NDP opposition is calling on the government to order the reversal of Sask Polytech's staffing reductions. Trial of a man accused of second-degree murder in the death of Misha Pavlik is entering its 3rd week. Sierra D'Souza Butts reports.
Jury members are finished hearing from more than 30 witnesses in the ongoing trial of the man accused of killing Misha Pavlik 19 years ago. Pavlik was fatally stabbed at a high school graduation party on May 21st, 2006, near Last Mountain Lake. On Monday, the court heard from peers of Derek Enns, a man who intervened when Pavlik was in one of several fights that broke out that evening. One witness, Sean Hesse, was a close friend of Pavlik's, telling the court Pavlik made it clear a fight was going to happen as soon as he saw a group of uninvited people show up to the party. When the first of 2 fights involving Pavlik did break out, Hesse said he pulled the accused off of Pavlik. Another witness, Cordell Carlberg, testified he helped Pavlik get back up on his feet after the first altercation. Less than 3 minutes later, Carlberg says the two got jumped again by the same group of men he helped pull off of Pavlik. Another witness recalls seeing Pavlik on the ground after multiple fights broke out that evening, saying he was conscious. Quote, "It was a fight for his life. He was frantic and scared." The defense will be given a chance to call any witnesses of their own later this week. Closing arguments will be made by lawyers before the jury heads into deliberations. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Trial of a Saskatoon massage therapist accused of sexually assaulting patients over the course of several years is also underway. Stacey Hine with more on that.
69-year-old Kenneth Braun leaves Saskatoon's Court of King's Bench on the first day of his trial. Braun is accused of sexually assaulting 6 patients between 2010 and 2021 while working as a massage therapist. He has pleaded not guilty. Braun was first charged in June 2022 after a woman reported being sexually assaulted during a massage. Police laid additional charges following the initial allegation. Braun's trial is scheduled to last 3 weeks. Over that time, the jury will hear from witnesses and review evidence presented by defense lawyers and Crown prosecutors. A publication ban is in place on all evidence to protect the integrity of Braun's future court proceedings. The ban restricts reporting of evidence, lawyers' arguments, and any possible victim impact statements. Journalists may report on the court process, the verdict, and any sentence if Braun is found guilty.
Braun will stand a second trial for 4 counts of sexual assault next month. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
As we approach Remembrance Day, Canadians finding ways to honor the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for this country. An Ontario retirement home has found a way to pay tribute with something small that will make a big impact. Katie Griffin reports.
All right.
Inside these boxes,
I think you're going to need more cards. Yeah.
precious cargo.
I did 225 myself, and it's been a joy to do them for the kids.
Noella Claroux is a resident at Kemptville Retirement Living. She and others knitting hundreds of Izzy dolls.
We had a knitting club on Tuesday, and we all got together and we all knit.
The dolls, symbols of friendship and peace, are named after Master Corporal Mark Isfeld. He was killed by a landmine while on tour in Croatia 31 years ago. Before his death, his mom made dolls he distributed to children wherever he went.
We have 883 Izzy dolls with us today.
His legacy living on.
It's amazing. In one swoop, they've given us more dolls than we raised all of last year.
The group donating the dolls to the Canada Aviation and Space Museum.
So what we do with them is after November, we pile them together and we send them over to Health Partners International Canada, HPIC, who use them as packing materials for their medical kits that they send out to places in need.
Dolls are then distributed to local children.
And of course, I had to hop on board. We had so many donations of wool, every different color and kind, and it was just fun to pick out different ones and make our own creations.
It's something to do together. A lot of these ladies would knit in their room before, and now they come and they gather in the main lounge and they knit together.
Making a big impact, one tiny doll at a time.
Really like a picture of kids receiving them to put up in our home.
Katie Griffin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, the calendar is officially flipped to November, but construction season in Saskatoon, while it's winding down, may be extended just a little while longer. Keenan Sorikan with why.
Construction season in Saskatoon is coming to an end, but as long as the weather holds, crews will stay busy.
There's so much work that we almost bank on having a great October and whenever we can get some nice weather in November as well.
From here on out, Saskatoon construction crews are working on borrowed time. In addition to the usual annual maintenance, the city tackled a number of water and sewage infrastructure projects, putting additional pressure on crews to get work done before winter. That's on top of all of the Link bus platforms built throughout the city, which created plenty of delays and detours.
A large amount of work and quite a short season in which to do it in.
The biggest change is the reconfigured Broadway Bridge, now complete with a T intersection at 19th Street and 4th Avenue. This vehicle was the first to enjoy the drive across the bridge Saturday night, more than 6 months after it was closed for construction.
And the bridge work had to be done, but now that it's open, it's like that bustle is coming back.
While some businesses on Broadway noticed a modest dip in sales, having the usual activity back in the neighborhood is a welcome sight.
I noticed a little bit of a difference in the street, maybe not being quite as busy with traffic, so it's nice to have it back.
Link will be a theme of Saskatoon's construction season next year. Another 44 platforms are on the books, as well as the new bus shelters passengers to go on top of them before the new transit system launches in 2028. But for now, the wait for winter is on as final summer and fall projects are coming to a close. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
People has named it Sexiest Man Alive in 2025, and the drum roll, please. That's not me. It's Jonathan Bailey. He's having a big year, apparently. He was in the second part of a show called Wicked, you might have seen. The next one's coming out this month. Jurassic Park Rebirth, he was in that this summer. This is the 40th year of the award. Mel Gibson was the first to get it in 1985. So close.
The man that is just dancing through life. And if you've seen Wicked, you get that joke. I don't know if you do, Daryl.
I get all jokes. I'm very with it.
Oh, yes, you're so cool and hip with the children.
Hip and with it.
Yes, very, very cool.
Get out of here,
Next year's your year, Daryl. Next year.
Next year.
I'll call him up.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's turn our attention to the weather picture here. Temperature is not really starting to warm up all too much this morning. We're at 1 degree now. Clouds still sticking around. Winds not really impacting your morning. -5, though, in Saskatoon, so we've been dropping down to start the day. Cool start. Definitely grab a jacket on your way out the door, but we're not seeing too much in terms of those winds really anywhere this morning. In the afternoon, we will be seeing them in some areas just northwest of Saskatoon. Could be seeing them up to about 40 kilometers per hour. Other than that, really seeing low winds today, only really up to about 20, 25 kilometers per hour in many places. Radar and satellite, though, showing that we are seeing some of that snow, rain, mixed precipitation in the morning today. Started overnight. Later on this morning, we're going to keep seeing that right around the Regina area there and areas to the south of us as well. Estevan likely to be seeing some of that into the later parts of the morning, and then that's going to be fully pushing off by about 11:30, and then we're just going to be making way for a lot of sunshine this afternoon with some pretty nice temperatures. We're also looking forward to some more precipitation on the way starting late tomorrow night, and then really starting to impact us in many places throughout the central zone into the later parts of the morning. Into the afternoon, we see some more pop up down towards the south. Regina more likely to be seeing some of that rain, and Saskatoon more likely to be seeing that snow for Thursday afternoon. Today's forecast, though, we did just mention that rain and those snow icons, those are going to be pushing away as of about 11:30 this morning. Temperatures about double that seasonal average, so that's not so bad. 10 degrees for Moose Jaw, 8 degrees for Yorkton, 7 degrees for Prince Albert, and 7 degrees with that sunshine in the Battlefords. The 7-day forecast, we mentioned that rain that's on the way for Thursday, but what about our weekend? Well, some snow on the way for many parts of the province on Friday, and then we see on Saturday -5 is the high, so definitely chilly. This is why some of that snow that's coming in on Friday could be sticking for the first time this year. Mix of sun and cloud on Saturday, though, and that is game day in Riderville. Definitely going to want to be bundling up for that game if you're attending. In Saskatoon, we mentioned that snow is on the way for Thursday. Snow is also on the way for Friday. We were expecting it into the later parts of the weekend on Saturday. However, now the radar has shifted. Seems like the sky is clearing. Mix of sun and cloud for Saturday, but again, temperatures about -3 during the day and -7 overnight. And the wind chill, that's starting to be a factor, so you can expect it to feel a little bit colder than it is. Black Friday is approaching, and for anyone who likes to travel, there are some incredible deals on the horizon. Whether you want to cruise, tour, or head to an all-inclusive, CAA travel experts can help you out, and Shannon Schill is here to tell us how. Good morning.
Good morning.
So something that makes CAA travel unique to book with is those exclusive CAA-only rates on select departures. Tell us the details of those and what we should know about cruising.
Yeah, so these are special sailings that often offer extra value, like up to 15% off itineraries, onboard perks, added amenities, things like that you won't find anywhere else.
All right, let's talk. If a cruise isn't your style, there will also be amazing offers for guided tours around the world. How can you help arrange those, and what should we know?
So guided tours are a great way to see more things without the stress of all of the planning and all the details all to yourself. Nobody's doing the driving in your group, so you guys can all see everything there is to see, and you get knowledgeable guides. Everything's arranged for you from start to finish.
We're showing just a couple of those tours on our screen right now. They look absolutely beautiful. Any destinations that you'd recommend or that are hot right now?
You know, Portugal's really hot right now. Europe is really hopping at this point. A lot of people are wanting to go to the European markets. So Germany's popular this time of year as well.
All right, and everyone loves a nice all-inclusive, especially during those cold Saskatchewan winter months. Those offers will also be part of the Black Friday buzz. Where do we start planning for those kinds of vacations?
Yeah, you know what? You come and you talk to one of our travel consultants and we can help you find a resort in Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America. We often have limited time discounts around this time of the year. It's the perfect opportunity to plan a great winter escape.
And even though Black Friday is still a few weeks away, now really is the time to be booking, correct?
It really is. It's time to start looking and waiting for those sales to come up. But, you know, knowing where you want to go and what you want to do is the first part of your plan, right?
And if anybody wants to know more information about what you do, how you can help, where can they go?
They can go to caask.ca/travel, or they can stop in at any of our offices in the province.
All right, thank you so much, Shannon. Once again, as much as we hate to say it, winter is approaching, but so is Black Friday. So are those deals for travel. You can head on over to caask.ca and check out some of those deals.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed. We dreaming hard, we came so far now. I believe we're going up, up, up.
Let's head back out to Odessa once more this morning and check back in with Janella Pye.
Well, unfortunately, we are slowly wrapping up our morning down here at the Odessa Market, but the fun is not over quite yet. We still have a little bit more to talk about. So, of course, Angela Lang is back with me now. Angela, there's an exciting event coming up this weekend. Tell me a little bit about it.
We are having a kickoff to Christmas on Saturday. We're extending our hours. We're open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. here in the Odessa Community Center. We're going to have sales throughout the store. We're going to have some surprises for the customers that come out and see us. So we hope some people can make it out.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And on that same note, the holidays are coming up quite quickly now. You have some Christmas classes as well coming up.
Yes, we actually have one on Thursday night here in the community center, and it is Creative Hearts Design Co. is coming in and bringing all of her Christmas sign designs. We get to paint them all and glue all the pieces back together. You can take the sign home. We have our palette snowman and scarecrow class. This is a really cute piece. You get to decorate your front porch from September all the way to Christmas. It has both designs. You just flip it around. And we have Bubby Ruco coming in next week to do a create your own Christmas sweater. So she's going to bring her heat press, her designs, all of her sweatshirts, and you can create your own Christmas sweater.
Oh, this sounds like so much fun. So one of the viewers is maybe interested in joining, being a part of all of this. How can they do that?
Find us on Facebook. We have all the details on our Facebook page at the Odessa Market.
Awesome, Angela. Thank you so much for having us out this morning. We had a great time. That's all from us down here at the Odessa Market this morning.
This morning, actor Jennifer Aniston going Instagram official with her new beau, hypno coach Jim Curtis. 56-year-old Aniston posting this photo for his birthday on Instagram with the caption, "Happy birthday, my love. Cherished."
They're my new, I don't need a job, I don't need my parents, I've got great boots.
The Friends and Morning Show star posting this photo of Curtis with his face obscured in September, and back in May, posting a shot of Curtis's book, Shift. So, who is Jim Curtis? He's a hypnotist, a coach and author who, according to his website, works with clients to uncover and release the subconscious blocks holding you back and awaken the truth of who you really are.
Jennifer Aniston, sources told us, was actually familiar with his teachings and had read some of his writing prior to meeting him. We know that Jennifer Aniston has long cared about her health and her fitness, and this kind of falls in line with that. This is someone who calms her, who recenters her in her life and her everyday work.
Aniston, never shying away from love, previously married to Brad Pitt for 5 years in the early 2000s, and calling off her engagement with Justin Theroux in 2017. As for Jim, the hypnotist, opening up about love himself on Instagram, sharing,
"How to find love at 42? That's a great question. Same as you do at 22 and 32, but with more confidence, more experience, and more authenticity."
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
A professional painter in Vancouver set out to spread joy by asking strangers what makes them smile. Here is CTV's Adam Sawatsky with the results.
Beverly Jean Hancock was feeling overwhelmed about the general state of the world.
I think that I was shocked and depressed.
When she made a specific realization.
That there was days where I hardly smiled, I hardly laughed.
So, Beverly Jean decided to do something about it.
I thought about what made me smile, and I started smiling more.
Which made her wonder what made other people smile. So, the professional painter began handing out cards to strangers, inviting them to send her joyful pictures to inspire her next art exhibit.
And I was quite surprised at how eager people were to tell me what made them smile.
And Beverly Jean painted more than 50 of them, which included the ultra-specific doing goat yoga, savoring that first lick of ice cream, and learning to juggle while riding a unicycle and playing the harmonica at the same time.
When I looked at the photos, I would just light up.
Most of the pictures Beverly Jean was sent were more universal, showing smiling with friends, dancing with partners, or just walking hand in hand.
Small sentiments of love and affection and joy.
Well, a bubble machine's been set up outside the Gage Gallery to inspire smiles before people even enter her exhibit. Beverly Jean is committed to keep cultivating joy, even after the last bubble pops.
I believe that we can connect deeply in a place of joy.
So, instead of spending too much time small talking about what's going wrong with the world, she now asks others what's going right in their lives.
Like, when's the last time your grandchild said something funny?
Beverly Jean also tries to learn and share at least one joke a day.
So what did one strawberry say to the other strawberry?
What?
It's your fault we're in this jam.
Beverly Jean has also learned that whether it's watching the way a bird walks or appreciating how a musician multitasks, that even when the rain is falling down, if you start looking up, you will always find something to make you smile. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
They're painting something that makes you smile, JD. What is it?
It is a smoked chicken salad sandwich from Gangster's Italian Sandwiches. First thing I thought of.
I actually knew that answer. I knew that answer.
That was immediate.
It was that or it was fishing.
So happy
It was
now.
that or it was fishing in Tobin Lake, where he's the mayor.
That's so funny. And the ducks yesterday made you smile.
Yeah, you like the ducks?
I like ducks.
Chicken sandwiches and ducks.
I like ducks. He likes duck sandwiches. Let's go to your sidebar. Commuting's not really an issue in Saskatchewan, but if it is scary and when you visit other parts of the world, you should check out the ghost stations in Spain. To celebrate its 100th anniversary, the Barcelona metro system opened 2 abandoned subway stations to the public, both no longer in service and rumored to be haunted in the past. City authorities say opening the stations is a good way to remember the city's history. Ooh.
Cool.
I'd want to go have like a sleepover at the train station. It'd be so fun, like a spooky little haunted sleepover.
Okay, you could do that.
Some places do that, like haunted hotels.
Yep.
You can stay in a haunted room.
Yesterday I saw there's a hotel or an Airbnb in New York that is the Seinfeld apartment. You could stay in the old, it's exactly as it is in the show.
Oh, okay.
That's what you wanted to do.
All right.
And you could do that if you have this money.
Yeah. So we all know the Jays didn't win, but one lucky fan sure did, taking home the biggest 50-50 jackpot in baseball history. Eric from Oshawa, Ontario, won the grand prize of $25 million. The Jays Care Foundation announced the winner Monday morning. The rest of the funds will go to support baseball programs for children in First Nations and Indigenous communities, as well as people with physical and cognitive disabilities.
25 mil. Every time we go to a sporting event, JD, my wife sees the 50-50 and she's like, it could be $11, it could be $1,100, and she's already spending it. she's always kids. So first I'm going to pay off this, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that.
I do that
it's
too,
the
though.
fantasy, right? We all
that.
do it.
I won a nice 50-50 once, though. It's possible.
We go to like one Rider game a year, and every single time it's like maybe a third and short, and trying to get the drive in, and Sarah's like, it's now $38,000.
We got to get our tickets.
Do you know what we could do for $38,000? Take a day off, maybe. Enjoy your day, your Tuesday. We'll see you back here on Your Morning tomorrow.